What's up, everybody? Avik with Mahalo Games. Check it out, guys. I'm going to bring you guys the preview of...
Hi, this is Todd Howard of Bethesda Game Studios, and we're here to show you a sneak peek at our latest game, Skyrim.
There you go. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Each time we do a new Elder Scrolls game, we like to start fresh, and Skyrim is no different. Coming off of Oblivion, and then the team did Fallout 3, we had a huge list of things we knew we wanted to do technically with the current generation of hardware and PCs to bring a virtual fantasy world to life. So we've rewritten the render, we've rewritten all the gameplay, the scripting language, the faces, the foliage, and all this comes together in our new engine we call the Creation Engine. So we're interested in all the little details like this plant here, the medium details of these logs and trees, and all the way up to distant mountains. And if you've played our previous stuff, you know that mountain is not just a backdrop. You can walk all the way to the top of that mountain. And it's a huge world. Like our previous games, you can create any kind of character you want and then go do what you want. The game's primarily designed as a first-person game, but you can also play in third person.
Now, with that being said, this is the first time third person actually looks decent. It's not a wonky animation where they look funny running or attacking. I mean, everything you can do in the first person, which looks great, you cannot do in third person.
You are who you play. So whatever you have in your hands or whatever you're using, you're going to get better at, and then you're going to level up. The right trigger does your right hand, and the left trigger does your left hand. And you could put either a weapon or a spell. You can also dual wield spells. And what's really cool here is, if you put the same spell in both hands and pull both triggers, you can get a bigger, more powerful version of that spell. Up here we have standing stones. There are 13 of these throughout Skyrim's landscape, and they give you special abilities, but you can only have one of these active at a time.
Now, you might be thinking, just 13? Just keep in mind that those are very powerful instant upgrades, and you have the choice of 3 different options. You know, the strength, agility, or magic, or whatnot. And each one's going to take about 3 to 4 to maybe even 5 hours to reach. So this is one of the new things you can do in combat. You go into this little sequence where you see your character, much like Fallout series, take the guy out. Except there's no VATS in here, guys. There's no freezing or anything like that. Time to choose what you want to do next. Everything is just real time. And that's one of the new finishes you could do. If the enemy is weak enough, you could go ahead and execute them, which is something that we love to see. You saw earlier right there, he froze the guy, slowing him down a little bit, and then killed him.
Here you can see all your items, not just what they do stat-wise, but also what they look like. Each of the thousands of objects you can find can be zoomed in, rotated, and looked at in high detail.
You could also cook everything that you find. In this case, there you go, the salmon steak.
With the skills menu, you look to the heavens, and here you can see all of your skills, how they're progressing, and as your skills increase, you'll push yourself to leveling up. The higher the skill, the more it affects your level progress.
And there is a lot, by the way, as you can see,
each of these skills has its own perk tree. As you develop your character, it's like the game is drawing this custom constellation for who you are. Lastly, we have the map, and we're just going to pull the camera back here and show you how the level of detail system works in the game. We're just rendering the whole world.
And this is a sweet touch. So instead of going to some 2D map all of a sudden, it just picks up, the camera flies to the sky, and you see everything that you're at in 3D. It's like taking the camera up into the skies and seeing where you're at. And that's an excellent addition to the game. You see a lively town. Of course, you go to anybody, talk to anybody, get objectives.
Gerda's family first settled here as woodcutters a few generations.
And if you're also used to and familiar with the Oblivion and Fallout series, before the camera used to like do this awkward like zoom into the person's face, and it would always look not so good. In this case, everything just stays. The camera stays where it's at, your perspective, and yeah, it just keeps on flowing. Does not break you away from the experience, the rich experience that the best Bethesda games offer, and of course Oblivion is one of them. Probably the best overall. Game's music is just surreal. I love it. But then again, Oblivion, Fallout, all those games always had great, great music. If you look around, guys, it's just very, very beautiful artistically.
This mountain here is the tallest mountain in Skyrim. It's called the Throat of the World. It is home to the Greybeards, who are masters of the voice. The voice is the ability to use the language of dragons and form these magical shouts. And this is a power that you will learn throughout Skyrim's main quest.
So you're going to see that. That's something that you're going to use a lot in combat, that scream that he was talking about. So remember, at any time in the game, you could switch from first to third. So what he's using right now is his right hand is revealing where the enemies are, and the left hand shoots fire. So he clearly saw where they were at using his right arm power and shooting them with the left arm. And you're going to see the longbow in action right now. Ooh. Right in the gut. And all these dungeons that you do discover eventually. See how it says Bleak Falls Barrow discovered? Now these contain mass dungeons, unlike before. Way bigger dungeons, and I know there for a fact that there's over 200 of these in the game. Oh yeah, and what you saw right there is a dragon, the main enemy behind the game. And these guys are powerful. You do not want to mess with them, especially in the beginning. In some cases you gotta run or try to fight and see if you can survive. So in this case we chose to run away. But if you want to see what happens after going inside that first dungeon, I suggest you check out the next video, which is the second part to Skyrim.